Hello, welcome to another week's episode of my M&A Cybersecurity update. And in this week's episode, I'll be covering all things training and awareness and security culture. Now, the target business that you're buying as the buyer, it's very important to understand their security culture and the level of awareness and how proactive they are in terms of their security and risk management holistically as a company. Because you do not want to buy a business that has a lax security culture and a culture that is not conducive to your investment. Make sure that you assess their training and awareness program and what is covered, and do they have training that is tailored to the different roles. Equally, you as the buyer need to be aware in terms of what it is that you're looking for. What are some of the key performance indicators that you're looking for in terms of your due diligence from a security perspective from that buyer? Now, if you do not have that expertise on your team, we can also support that because we are M&A and supply chain risk specialists that helps companies and buyers, PE companies, and deal team with their M&A due diligence process. Now, why is this important? This is important because a case in point here is where an Australian company, HWL Ebsworth, they were hacked during the deal process, and it transpired later that it was due to a lack of security hygiene holistically. So from culture to unmanaged access to poor MFA to poor management of privileged user accounts, there was a raft of various security loopholes that was across the organization. An attacker was able to really compromise those from all different angles. So imagine there was no MFA, multi-factor authentication, involved at all. And this law firm deals with over 60 odd government agencies and private entities. And in the end, when the investigation was completed, it turned out that over 3.6 terabytes of data was exfiltrated as a result of lack of user awareness, unmanaged cybersecurity controls, and just basic security hygiene wasn't in place, and to the point where employees were social engineered because they weren't aware of the telltale signs and how to manage those scenarios if somebody were to trick them into doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Now, what are some tips that you can take away from this and look at your next deal in terms of putting in controls in place or looking at your due diligence process? To start off with, make sure that you review their security awareness program if they have one. If they don't have one, that's a strong red flag scenario there that's going to be emerging as you go through the deal process. Look at their incident reporting culture. Do they report incidents on a regular basis? Do they have an incident log? And if they have a lot of incidents that they're reporting on a regular basis, on one hand, that's great. Now, the next stage is, are they monitoring, fixing, and addressing those incidents and keeping on top of them? Because it's okay to be reporting incidents, which is great. They know what they need to do, but fixing them is the next layer. So trust but verify. Make sure that you review user roles and responsibilities and looking at how access is granted to those user roles from a privileged access perspective. Make sure and check that whatever training that they're providing to their employees, you as the buyer need to really look and assess, do they provide targeted training for different roles and responsibilities within the organization? So it's all well and good that they do a generic user awareness program where everyone gets trained up on the same thing. But as you move through the different roles within the organizations, there are different levels of threat based on your role. So the finance person, the finance director, is a different level of threat and requires a tailored approach to their training and awareness. The same with the HR. Same with the CTO, and the same with those in procurement. There are different layers of threats. So look at how they tailor their training, and that will give you a good indication in terms of their maturity, then their training and user awareness, and their maturity of their security culture. That's it for today's episode. Please remember to follow us and subscribe to our weekly newsletter on LinkedIn. Scan this QR code for the off LinkedIn newsletter as well. And we also have a YouTube channel that we put these videos on as well. So you can also subscribe and support us there. And please share this with anyone that you know of that is doing a deal or could benefit from this. And as always, you can reach out to us by contacting us above here with all the information here, sales@pragmatic.com, or reach out to us via our website. Have a great day and a great rest of your week. Bye.